guys, my name's Tommy and this is the Gallery Backyard Barbecue. On today's show, it's a showdown. It's the Masterbuilt Gravity Fed 1050 versus the Weber 22-inch Kettle Premium. It's a rib showdown and it's happening now. Alright everybody, my name's Tommy and this is the Gallery Backyard Barbecue and we got a big show for you today. A showdown, right? What I want you to do though is hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you get notified on every time I do a future upload. Today it's all about Masterbuilt. It's all about the Weber Mastertouch Premium and all about 2 cuts of St. Louis ribs. Look, we got a meteor rack and a little bit smaller of a rack. I'm not going to trim these down at all. Not the biggest racks in the world, so I'm not going to take anything away from them. And I am going to use a Killer Hogs rub to season them up. Going to be trying to match the Masterbuilt with the temp of the Weber, which I figure is going to settle down at the 275 to 300 range. There you go. No salt, no pepper, no garlic powder needed for this for these racks of ribs. Look, it's going to be a total half on each side, and I'll choke the temperature down by closing the slider on the bottom and of course the slider on the hood. I'm going with 2 chunks each side of hickory, and we'll let it roll like that. I'm thinking about maybe about a 3.5 to 4 hour cook. There you go. Now same thing on the Masterbuilt. I got 2 chunks up in the hopper, and I'm going to put about 2-3 chunks down in the ash catcher. Yeah. And of course we'll run this rack on the Masterbuilt on the middle shelf. There you go. Alright, so like I said, I got the vents closed totally on the Weber. You could see we're hanging out at about that 280 range of Fahrenheit, and we let these bad boys run for 2 hours with a little bit of a spritz of apple juice. And of course, same thing on the Masterbuilt side. I let the temp on the Masterbuilt trail at about 15 to 25 degrees of Fahrenheit, lower than the Weber. And you could see we were huddling right at that 300 Fahrenheit range. And we are about 3 hours in, and we are right at that about, 175, 185, somewhere in that range. So we know it's good to get these off and get them wrapped up. There you saw a peak. Again, we're at that 175, 180 range, and there's the Weber rack. And there's the Masterbuilt rack. Oh man, that is a good looking rack of ribs right there. A nice color. we'll go with your basic margarine, brown sugar, and we'll put a little bit more of that rub. And for moisture, we'll hit it with a little bit more of that apple juice. That's the Killer Hogs rub, of course. There you go. We'll flip that in meat side down, and we'll give it a seal. And I'm thinking maybe about another, maybe 45 minutes on this thing. So 3 hours, and then 45 minutes, and then maybe 15 minutes to tighten up that sauce. That sounds about right. Oh man, that's good stuff. I'll tell you, once I got the Weber steadied again, vents closed above, vents closed below, and she hung right around at that 285 to 300 range. And there you see the Masterbuilt ribs. We got a little bit more pullback on this rack, but then again, it was a little bit of a smaller, little bit of a less meaty rack, so I'm just thinking that may have had something to do with it. We're gonna go with that margarine and brown sugar, some rub, and a little bit of apple juice. Again, meat side down, and then seal it up and back on the grill. Alrighty, and look, we are 45 minutes in, so like I said, 3 hours and 45 minutes, and we're looking for a in between the bone temperature reading of about anywhere from 202 to 205, 206. That's when you want to sauce them up. Right, and she climbed a little bit there, but I know we're right at that range, so we're going to hit it with some sauce and let it sit back on the grill for about 15 minutes, and that's just going to sticky up that sauce. That's going to just tighten up that sauce. I'm using my favorite BBQ sauce, 50/50 honey barbecue. And of course, you want to flip that meat side up. And you see we got a pretty decent pullback on the Masterbuilt rack. And now we'll jump over to our Weber rack. Again, we want to flip that meat side up. See 204, 205, so we are right there. I mean, these ribs ran neck and neck, and both look pretty dynamite. We'll get this closed up, and I am definitely looking forward to chowing down on these suckers for sure. And look, here we go, 15 minutes, so total cooking time on these ribs were about 4 hours. And again, we rolled anywhere on the Masterbuilt 275 to Weber about 300 Fahrenheit, and you can see the Masterbuilt ribs has a nice pullback, a beautiful color. Now we'll jump over to the Weber. little bit, maybe a little bit darker of a color. Look, I'm going to take this in live for a taste test. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. We have a lot more Masterbuilt versus Weber coming. I also throw a little Black Stone and Pit Boss in there. Let's take it. All right, everybody, look, that's it for this one. I'm real excited too because both racks look equally as good. And before you all jump on me, I wanted to match the temperature of the Masterbuilt with the Weber, okay? So I know I could have added less charcoals on lit to control the temperature and bring it up slowly to temperature. But basically what I wanted to do is go full, cut the air off to the Weber and knock that temperature down, which I did. I got it down to about 300 Fahrenheit, and I adjusted the Masterbuilt only to 275 Fahrenheit because I know the rack was a smaller rack. So I think that was a good way to go for this cook, and there'll be plenty more Masterbuilt versus Weber in the future. So stay tuned for that. And here we go with the ribs here. So off the bat, we know the Masterbuilt ones are in front. You see we have a little bit more pullback on the Masterbuilt, but we also know that's less meatier of a rack. Okay, so good chance you will get a little bit more pullback, right? What I want to do here, I've already got my thumbs. I'm just going to go right in the middle. Take a slice from the Masterbuilt rack. You can see, oh man, look at that. And that will go dead center here. And like I said, I'll be doing here's the Weber rack. I mean, pretty moist, maybe not dripping moist like the Masterbuilt. I mean, these are some moist ribs. Wow, a little bit more cherry on the color, maybe a slightly more smoke ring, or hardly any on either one of them. That's it. So let's take a taste test. First, we got the Masterbuilt. Oh man. I mean, that's an awesome rib. That the rub that I used is definitely the perfect rub for a test like this, because it's not over salted, it's not over peppered, it's just kind of perfect, right? Get another bite. Now let's jump right into the Weber rib. I mean, look, what could one say? How can I break this down? The Masterbuilt had a little bit more moisture in it, but that could be just because the Weber was a little bit harder to control the temperature. You know, flavor to flavor, they both seem to have the same smoke, the same fuel flavor, so that's about even. The like I said, the Weber maybe a touch more overcooked than the Masterbuilt. It was a tough one, guys. It was a tough one. So look, I'm going to close out this video by saying more testing to come, right? What else could I say? Besides, if you like this video here, I'm going to drop a couple more over here. You check those out. And until next time, we will see you soon. Oh man, that was tough.